Hello, Team 6. How are you? I hope you're fine. And here we are on class number 36. And we are going to continue working on Unit 6. And this time I'm going to introduce a new speaking part. This is part number 3. Okay. It is called collaborative task, or you may know it by role play. Okay. So we're going to do the one that is on page 71. You may wonder how, because uh, we are doing the written part here. But the idea is that we're going to start working on this, yes, on page 71, and we're going to continue doing it in our Zoom meeting. So here I want to explain how to go about it, how to deal with collaborative task. So you will find the explanation here. Yes, it's a role play situation. That is to say, students are going to talk to each other without talking to the teacher. Okay, so there will be a situation, and it's going to be divided in two parts. The first part, in 2 minutes, you have to discuss all the options that you have around the question. Okay, so you will find a question and options. Yes, so in 2 minutes, you have to talk about the different options. So far, you have been working with, instead of phrases, pictures. Okay, but from this year on, you are going to find phrases to talk about, to discuss the question here in the middle. So 2 minutes for this part. In the second part, you will have 1 minute to come to a conclusion. That is to say, make a decision, which doesn't mean that you have to agree with your partner. Yes, because you can disagree, but you come to a conclusion. Yes, so everything that I have explained here is written here in the theory, and what you will find here are useful expressions. And we're going to deal with this in the Zoom meeting. So, what do I want you to do with this activity on page 71? The situation is the following. Imagine that the magazine for teenagers and young adults is going to publish a series of articles giving advice about relationships. Below are some of the relationships they may want to include. Talk to each other about what problems might arise when surgir in these relationships. Okay? So you have 5 different types of relationships, and I want you to type here in the class one problem for each. Don't write one word. Please expand on the idea. Yes? And then this will be done orally in 2 minutes with your partner, exchanging ideas. And here in the photocopy in part 2, you are going to answer the question that is in question 2. Decide which 2 relationships teenagers and young adults would be most interested to receive advice on. ¿Ok? Si nosotros pensamos en adolescentes o gente joven, ¿en qué 2 tipos de situaciones la gente necesita más consejos? ¿En qué tipo de relaciones? Okay, maybe there are many problems with among flatmates. So, but okay, choose 2 relationships and say why. Yes. Now, as I wrote here below, this will be done in our Zoom meeting, but I want you to start working on ideas here. Then, in activity number 1, you will open your book on page 73 and you will do the multiple choice clues. And then we're going to focus on our language structure. And the topic is relative clauses relative clauses, which can be defining and non-defining. So here in point A, we have 3 examples. Let's read them. I shared a flat once with someone who used to get annoyed about the silliest of things. He would also tell me off for cooking food that made the house smell. Aunt Georgia, who lived in London, came to help with the preparations for my 16th birthday party. In the 3 sentences I highlighted, you have 2 ideas. 2 ideas which are joined together, okay, with a relative pronoun, okay. Entonces, cada vez que nosotros tengamos en una oración 2 ideas unidas por un relative pronoun, ahí yo tengo una relative clause. ¿Cuál es la función de la relative clause? It's to give information about the noun, okay. 2 ideas are joined by a relative pronoun. It can be who, which, that, whose, when, where, whom, why. ¿Ok? Es decir, me va a brindar información sobre el sustantivo al cual le uno la relative clause. Someone, food, and Georgia. El tema es que hay types. Hay veces que uno puede omitir esa información o a veces es necesaria para entender de qué estoy hablando. Si nos damos cuenta, en sentence 1 and 2 yo no tengo comas. En cambio, en number 3, después de and Georgia, yo tengo coma. Vamos a leer cuáles son estos dos tipos. Defining relative clause. It gives essential information about the noun. It cannot be taken out as it would change the meaning of the sentence, and it is never written between commas. Como es esencial para entender de qué estoy hablando, o sea, vamos a volver al ejemplo de food. Y dice, he would also tell me off for cooking food. Pero no es cualquier comida, es food that made the house smell. Es decir, yo necesito el that made the house smell to understand what kind of food he would complain about. To tell me off, okay? I shared a flat with someone. ¿Qué someone? Someone who used to get annoyed about the silliest of the things. Es decir, la relative clause que ahí tengo define, it's defining. No va a ir entre comas, ¿ok? Nunca. When the relative pronoun is the subject in the relative clause, it cannot be omitted. Es decir, cuando yo después del sustantivo le uno la relative clause y este pronombre es el sujeto del verbo, no se puede omitir. Es decir, that's the shop assistant. Y shop assistant es también el sujeto de served me the last time I came here. Entonces, lo que une a la segunda parte a la primera es el sujeto de shop assistant. Ahora, veamos cuándo es por el objeto. I am enjoying the book which you gave me. El sujeto de gave es you, no es the book. El sujeto de, perdón, the book pasa a ser en realidad el you gave me that book, okay? That is why it is the object of the sentence. Okay, so to make it clearer, when the relative pronoun, okay, is the subject of the verb that follows, it cannot be omitted, okay? Necesitamos escribir el who, el that, okay? Ahora, si lo que reemplaza o lo que está uniendo es al objeto, ¿sí?, de la oración, este which o that can be omitted, okay? Now, let's pass on non-defining relative clauses. It gives extra information about the noun. It can be taken out without changing the meaning of the sentence. No me aclara, no me da información que sí o sí yo tengo que tener para entender de qué sustantivo está hablando. Por eso en el ejemplo de arriba, Aunt Georgia, yo al dar el nombre propio, yo digo Aunt Georgia came to help with the preparations for my 16th birthday party, yo ya sé de quién estoy hablando. Te doy un dato extra al decir who lived down in London. That's why I put commas. Okay? So that is a non-defining relative clause. It is always between commas, and the relative pronoun can never be omitted. ¿Sí? No es como en el caso anterior, that you can omit if it is the object. Okay? And that cannot be used in place of who or which. Yeah, so let's see the relative pronouns that we can use. Who, cuando el sujeto es people. Whom is more formal than who, se utiliza en muy pocos casos. Which for things, and that can be used for people or things to replace who or which, pero solamente en defining, ¿ok? No cuando uso las comas. And whose express possession, okay? The woman whose husband is in prison committed a crime. Whose husband, cuyo marido, posesión, okay? Relación entre husband y wife. When for time, where for places, and why for reason, okay? So you're going to open your student's book and you're going to do the practice on page 72 and then on page 76. Okay, if you have any question, you can ask through Google Classroom. Okay, and we're going to deal with this topic in our Zoom meetings. Okay, bye bye, 10-6.